You're moving up in 2 weight classes. You're the smaller man. In order to beat Canelo Alvarez, you're going to have to keep your distance. You're going to have to fight on the outside. Whatever you do, Terence Crawford, don't exchange against him. This is the stuff that people have been saying and analyzing and dissecting this upcoming fight. What do you feel you have to do?
Like I said, be me. I don't gotta, listen to the people that's not in the ring fighting. They not in the ring fighting. I'm the one in the ring fighting. So I'm gonna do whatever I gotta do to get the job done. And so be it. That's it.
Do you think it's possible that we could end up seeing you exchange with Canelo Alvarez, the bigger man that's been walking around as a super middleweight champion for a while? Or is that possible that we gonna see that, Terence Crawford?
Just watch the fight. That's it. Just watch the fight. He believed like I believe. A lot of people is looking at Canelo Alvarez like this tank that can't get hurt. We didn't see him hurt before. We didn't see him cut before. He's human just like me. So, he got things to worry about just like I do.
You're a 4 division champion. You're undefeated, 41-0, 31 KOs. We know who you are. We know what you bring to the table. But that was as a junior welterweight, a welterweight, obviously a junior middleweight. You're bypassing the middleweight division, going up 2 weight classes in order to fight this guy. Why did you want to do this so badly?
Because we the 2 best fighters of our era, still, going strong. Everybody else is, either younger than us or, passed and retired. So why not? I want to challenge myself. The best always looking to fight the best and challenge themselves, and why not, challenge myself.
Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford have just wrapped up their final intense press conference before their massive showdown. At the same time, Roy Jones Jr. shared his breakdown of what it will take for Canelo to win. He explained that Canelo must take control in almost every part of the fight. He said Canelo has to own the inside, the outside, moving forward and moving around the ring. According to Roy, the same standard applies to Crawford as well, because the fighter who controls most areas of the fight will be the one who walks away with the victory.
For Canelo to win the fight, he got to dominate almost every atmosphere of the fight. He got to dominate inside, he got to dominate outside, he got to dominate going forward, he got to dominate going around, he got to dominate all the areas of the fight. If he don't, he won't win the fight. And Crawford got to do the same. Whoever can dominate most areas of the fight will win the fight.
Plant also shared his view, saying Crawford is jumping up 2 weight divisions to face a legendary Canelo. He pointed out that this is a huge challenge. But he also said Crawford has the heart to give everything and never plays it safe in the ring. Because of that, Plant believes the fight will be exciting and action-packed rather than slow or boring.
We'll see. Terence is moving up 2 weight classes. I'm sure you guys have heard it a million times. One fight at 154 and spent the rest of his career at 47 and 40 and 35. Canelo, with everything he's accomplished, he's a great fighter. He's a legendary fighter who I also have a lot of respect for. So I think it's going to be a big weekend. I don't think it's going to be a snoozer, And if anybody was to make it a snoozer, it'd be Terence, right? Because he's a smaller guy. He gets hit, he may start moving around, but that's not in Terence's blood. One thing that I love and respect about Terence so much is that he's willing to go out on a shield. And that's something that I really respect about Terence is I know that he's willing to go out on a shield and make it a great fight if need be. But I think, with his skill and his strength and his ability and everything else he's got going for him, I think he's going to make it a great fight. And everything that Canelo's got going, and doing, I don't think it's going to be a snoozer.
During the press event, Terence Crawford showed strong confidence heading into the fight, saying he feels great and is fully ready to shock the world with his performance. He made it clear that his motivation is high and that he is eager to get into the ring, sending a clear message that he is prepared for the challenge. After him, Canelo Alvarez said this fight means a lot to him both personally and professionally. He thanked the fans for their continued support and spoke about how excited he is for fight night, saying he cannot wait for Saturday to arrive. Both fighters displayed energy, focus, and determination, setting the stage for a massive and highly anticipated showdown.
We're ready to go shock the world.
Canelo, you too.
I feel great. For me, this fight means a lot, and I feel great. Ready. I can't wait for Saturday night. And thank everybody coming to support the event, and I can't wait. I can't wait.
Additionally, when someone in the crowd asked Terence Crawford if he was ready to feel Mexican power, he answered with full confidence, saying he was completely ready. Crawford explained that he and his team had finished every part of their preparation and clearly understood the challenge that Canelo Alvarez brings. He admitted that Canelo is a dangerous opponent, but said that is exactly the reason he accepted the fight. He stressed that true greatness comes from taking chances and being willing to face risk head-on.
For Terence, are you ready to feel the Mexican power, Terence?
Oh yeah! I'm ready. Nothing. Nothing. We did all the preparation that we needed to do in the ring. We know Canelo is a tough task. We know everything about him. We know what we up against. And that's another reason why we took this fight, because this is what legends is made from. Is taking the chances and the risks like we're doing right now. You know, it's crazy because where I'm from, they say BTA, belt the ass, but I tell them I'm the buckle. It hurt more.
Crawford went on to say that being in this moment feels special because for years people doubted him and said he fought weak opponents, could not sell fights, and had no personality. He explained that these negative stories followed him throughout his career and were used to downplay his greatness. Now he is standing on the biggest stage in boxing against Canelo Alvarez, and all of that noise has been silenced. He asked what critics can say now and made it clear that being part of such a massive fight proves his value, his legacy, and everything he has worked for.
It feels great for one reason. A lot of people for years always ran with this narrative that I fight nobodies, I can't sell, I don't have a personality, I'm this, I'm that, all these negative things. And look at all this, to see me fight Canelo. What can they say now?
Max Kellerman also added his pre-fight breakdown and made it clear this will be a high-level battle by giving credit to both fighters. He praised Canelo power, his comfort at the higher weight, and his ability to cut off the ring, saying his ring control and strength will play a major role. On the other side, he highlighted Crawford's speed, sharp footwork, and strong focus. Kellerman explained that while Canelo has a size edge, Crawford's versatility and technical accuracy could balance that out. He called the matchup an early favorite for Fight of the Year and described it as a true clash of elite-level skills.
Where would you rank this fight out of your top 3 to 5 of all the boxing fights you've called, you've experienced, you've watched?
In terms of the magnitude of the
magnitude,
fight? I mean, of the fights that I've called ringside, it might turn out to be number 1. I've done Pacquiao fights, I've done Mayweather fights, I've done Anthony Joshua against Klitschko. Those are big fights, but this will, listen, because of Netflix, this will be the most watched fight, championship fight, in almost 50 years. This is going to be because Muhammad Ali fought Leon Spinks in the rematch in '78, and they did 90 million TV sets. 90 million. And since then, what has even come close? The biggest fights have all been on pay-per-view, and they do 2 million buys. Oh my God, 4 million buys, Mayweather Pacquiao. As I keep saying, if 5 people per TV set watch, that's 20 million people. This is gonna do multiples of that. So when you look at it from like a commercial point of view, it'll easily be the biggest boxing event I've ever.
Ab Judah gave one of the boldest predictions by focusing on Terence Crawford's ability to control the pace, disrupt rhythm, and stay one step ahead at all times. He even suggested that Canelo Alvarez could slow down in the later rounds, which could open the door for Crawford to score a stoppage in the championship rounds. Judah pointed to Crawford's sharp reflexes, strong ring intelligence, and proven skill at breaking opponents down over time as the reasons why this outcome is possible.
About Canelo and Crawford.
Crawford. No hesitation. No hesitation.
I want to see that fight.
Big Bud. Big Bud. We're going to have to roll Canelo up. We're going to have to pack him up, baby.
But how hard is the jump from 47 to 68?
I mean, listen, it's a very big challenge. But what I said, with his skills and the way he's adapted to the size, brother, when I seen him stand toe-to-toe and side by side, I said, game over. Terence Crawford. And listen, don't be surprised if you stop him. I'm telling you.
Who?
Don't be surprised
If Canelo stops Crawford.
Terence Bud Crawford stops Canelo.
I wouldn't be surprised.
I love you. Skills pay the bills. See that, Cody? Skills pay the bills.
Benavidez shared his belief that Terence Bud Crawford has a real chance to defeat Canelo Alvarez, pointing to Crawford's high boxing IQ and deep experience as key tools for such a difficult task. At the same time, he admitted there are serious risks involved, since Crawford is moving up 2 weight classes not long after fighting at 154 pounds, which raises questions about how his body will respond against a naturally bigger and stronger opponent.
David, does Bud have a chance against Canelo?
I think he does, bro. I think if anybody could beat Canelo, I think Bud, his IQ and his experience will definitely help him through. It's just that, you know what I mean? He's going up 2 other weight classes when he had just went up to 154, so we'll see what happens.
John Porter also shared his opinion, saying the fight between Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford is a great clash of styles, but he does not expect it to go back and forth. He believes the fight will be one-sided and clearly swing in one direction. Porter explained that Crawford has proven many times that he can adjust during a fight and change his approach. He added that Canelo usually sticks to the same style and does not often switch things up. Still, he noted that Canelo does have the ability to adjust if the moment truly calls for it.
But I just think it's a beautiful style contrast. It's not the same, but it's different. It's the same, but it's different from your fight. Their style contrast is different because they don't have the same style, and it's like one is gonna clash and one is gonna get the better of the other. I don't think this fight's gonna be a back and forth situation. I think it's gonna go one way or the other.
Really? So super one-sided?
Super one-sided. I don't think that. Obviously, we know the one who has the ability to make adjustments is Crawford. We have literally never ever seen Canelo do anything else. He's not gonna sit back and catch and counter. He's not gonna come up. He's not gonna do anything different. You know what I mean? So I think if Canelo starts to do this, but yes, he does have the ability to change some things.
Sean, what about
going back the other way?
What about the Canelo?
Bastian Fondora openly backed Canelo as the favorite. He explained that Canelo has a clear advantage thanks to his strength and experience at the 168-pound weight class. Fondora added that while Canelo is proven at this level, Terence Crawford could face challenges since it's his first time fighting at 168. He expressed concern that Crawford might struggle in this new division. Still, Fondora said the matchup is expected to be exciting and believes boxing fans will see something unique from the fight.
Canelo. I have Canelo. Canelo's more comfortable at 168. He's going to fight again for undisputed for a second time at 168. So this is nothing uncomfortable to him. Terence Crawford's a great fighter. And of course, we're starting to see that he can probably make 168 naturally. But again, it's a different division. 147, 168, 2 different divisions.
Bill Haney called Canelo versus Crawford the biggest fight in boxing right now, saying even Muhammad Ali would have understood how huge this event is. He praised Crawford for stepping up to such a massive challenge, but warned that this fight isn't just about skill. Haney emphasized that Crawford also has to deal with Canelo's physical strength and commanding presence in the ring, factors that could play a major role in determining the outcome.
Man, come on, man. That's the biggest fight, you know what I mean, in boxing right now. Canelo and Crawford. Crawford stepping up. Man, it's so big, you got Muhammad over there saying something about it. That's how big it is. It came off the bench from the 60s, right, Muhammad? You go back in the 60s? Yeah, well, listen. 60 years of boxing. Canelo is big. And shout out to Crawford stepping up. But does Crawford have to be worried about more things than just boxing? Absolutely.
Keith Thurman emphasized that Canelo Alvarez is not unbeatable and reminded that every fighter can eventually be figured out in the ring. He questioned whether Canelo still has the same knockout power, pointing out that in recent fights he hasn't finished opponents as decisively as before. Thurman suggested this could give Terence Crawford an edge, but he also raised a concern about Crawford moving up in weight. He explained that Crawford's main strengths are his speed and mobility, and gaining weight could reduce those advantages, especially in the later rounds. For Thurman, that balance between added size and natural quickness is what makes the matchup so compelling.
First opening half is him working behind the jab. If he does not work behind the jab, he is not geared for the tactical approach. And the only other approach, which is the Hail Mary, is that you hurt the gorilla neck boy. You know, this freaking gorilla exercise.
Don't rely on that.
He's hard to hurt, man. He's hard to hurt.
Don't rely on hurting Canelo. I think
That's what I'm saying. Triple G didn't drop him. All these fighters been hitting him.
Take a page from Bivol and Mayweather. What they do, they fought behind the jab. They kept their distance. They've used the entire ring, and that's something that he can bring to the table. Use that distance from
Bivol
both
backed him up. Though.
But the funny thing is, with the extra body weight, is he agile?
Yeah.
Is the footwork going to be able to move, still use the ring, and as those later rounds, round 7,
that's what I said to you last week. 14 pounds matters.
9, 10, as the pressure continues. The other thing too is Canelo lost a little bit of his bite. He hasn't been tremendously, devastating and taking people out. So that helps, that re-establishes the fight and is in Bud Crawford's favor there,
Khan noted that while Canelo Alvarez has a size advantage, Terence Crawford adapts to added weight very effectively. He mentioned seeing photos of Crawford around 185 pounds where he appears strong, muscular, and fully built for the division. Khan also recalled sparring with Crawford, saying he felt heavy, powerful, and stronger than most people give him credit for. He added that Crawford hits hard, has real muscle strength, and even has a wrestling background, making him physically tough in the ring.
Size advantage, but then again, I've always said Crawford puts on the weight well. If you look at size of him, you see his picture when he was like 185. He looked huge, bro. He looked jacked up and he looked strong at the weight as well. I remember when I used to spar with him, and I think, wow, he's heavy and he's heavy-handed as well. People don't give people don't give him the credit for his power. Crawford bangs hard, man. I mean, and also has that muscle.
Chris Algieri shared that, in his view, the result of the fight is almost secondary to the bravery Crawford has shown in taking it. He said Crawford has already cemented his legacy simply by daring to face Canelo Alvarez at super middleweight, a division well above his natural weight. Algieri emphasized that Crawford has consistently chosen to challenge himself against the toughest opponents, and this fight is another example of him putting greatness above safety or comfort.
Be Crawford, and that's not going to be Canelo. They're going to be their peak of what they are at this point. Because again, Crawford is 38 years old. Canelo will be 35 by then. So I think they're going to be the peak for what they are at their ages. But it's easy to go, wow, what have you done for me lately? That's usually how everyone kind of sees everything. So, but I think it's good. I think it makes the fight more enticing if a lot of people are thinking that Crawford can win. And don't get me wrong, Crawford can absolutely win the fight. I'm not saying he can't win the fight. But in terms of, how I see it, it hasn't really changed my thoughts because I know better than to just trust that last thing I saw because there's a lot of confounding factors.
George Kambosos Jr., known for his strategic approach, outlined a clear game plan he expects Terence Crawford to use. He predicted that Crawford will make Canelo Alvarez chase him around the ring, taking advantage of the same struggles Canelo had against Willie Skull when he couldn't cut off angles effectively. Kambosos noted that this raises questions about whether Alvarez has slowed down. However, he also warned against underestimating Canelo, pointing out that the Mexican star has a history of stepping up his performance when the stakes are highest. Fighters of Alvarez's level can find another gear when it counts, and Kambosos expects him to do just that in this matchup.
Boxing attributes. And like I said, Canelo has to press Crawford. He has to be able to use his size, bully him, and able to land them shots that are going to hurt him and put him in 2 frames of mind. Now, Crawford, on the other hand, as much as the size difference doesn't really look like there is a size difference, there is a difference in the weight they've been fighting at. And like I said, Canelo's been fighting as high as light heavyweight. Crawford, in his last fight, did go up to junior middleweight against Madrimov. He did seem to struggle a little bit with a guy at a higher weight. So now you're moving up to super middleweight, will have some effect. But again, it is the biggest fight of his life, biggest fight of Canelo's life, and you're going to truly think that they're going to be prepared for anything. But the big thing is, will Crawford be able to dictate the fight against a guy like Canelo Alvarez, who's the bigger man, the guy who's going to be pushing the pressure? We saw the way he dictated and hurt Errol Spence.
A litany of angles, and here comes Spence though as Crawford, and down goes Spence for the second time in the fight, and Spence is hurt.
In that big fight where no one thought he would be able to do that against a guy like Spence. So, it's going to be very, very interesting.
Just Pro said that Jermall Charlo was undisputed at 154, but when Canelo Alvarez connected, Charlo immediately went down, showing the difference in power. He explained that Crawford has only had one fight at 154, and even then Israel Madrimov was able to land on him. Facing Canelo, however, is a whole different level. Pro said that against just another bigger fighter, he might favor Crawford, but someone like Canelo, who he considers one of the greatest Mexican fighters ever, presents a much tougher challenge. He added that Crawford's advantages are his high skill level and the fact that Canelo is getting older, though Crawford himself is around 37 or 38 while Canelo is 36. Pro admitted that while many believe Crawford can win, he personally doesn't see it happening. He stressed that Canelo's punch resistance and natural size make a huge difference and reminded that weight classes exist for a reason. Still, he noted that if Crawford does pull off a win, it would cement his place on boxing's Mount Rushmore.
Madrimov would touch him up a little bit. And this is nowhere close to Madrimov. You talk about Canelo. Now, if it was just another bigger guy, I would go with Crawford. But you talk about this might be, people might kill me for it, but well, not really, but this might be the best Mexican fighter ever. One of them, at least, right? You talk about Canelo and Crawford going up against him. So the only thing they have, but I would say the only thing he has going for him is he's a skillful fighter, and Canelo is older, but so is Crawford too. I think Crawford is 37, 38, something like that. Canelo's 36, so they both are older right now. But man, I don't personally see it. A lot of people see that Crawford can beat Canelo. It's just like that punch resistance is something else. They make weight classes for a reason. If he could beat him, man, I think he on the Mount Rushmore of fighters if Crawford can pull this off.
Errol Spence Jr. expressed full support for Terence Crawford taking on Canelo Alvarez, saying he respects Crawford's ambition to chase greatness and secure his legacy. He made it clear there's no reason to discourage him, even though the challenge is huge. While Spence admitted he isn't sure how the fight will turn out, he believes Crawford has both the skill and mindset to rise to the occasion. He also reminded fans that Canelo himself has moved up to light heavyweight to face bigger opponents, showing that bold jumps in weight are possible, and implying that Crawford can do the same.
It could happen. Why not? If Crawford want to challenge himself to be great, let him try to be great, So, I'm with it. So, I'll be going for Bud, if he fight Canelo, I'll be going for him. I don't know if he gonna win or lose, but I'll definitely be going for Crawford. I think if anybody can pull it off, he can pull it off. Yeah. He's chasing greatness, so why not? Canelo came up to 175 and all that and fought Kovalev and fought the other guy too. So if he can do it, and he started at 147. So if he's doing it, why can't Crawford?
Eddie Hearn admitted he's been going back and forth on his prediction for the fight. He explained that Crawford's supreme confidence initially made him lean toward Bud, but after seeing Canelo Alvarez looking strong, focused, and in peak condition at the press conference, he found himself shifting back in favor of Canelo.
Back and forwards, to be honest with you. When I talk to Bud, he convinces me that he's going to win the fight because he's such a believer in his own ability, and he's very convincing. And then you see the presser yesterday, and I thought Canelo looked really well. Do you know what I mean? Obviously, he's a big lump, so I was always Canelo. Then I sort of leant towards Bud, but now I'm back with Canelo. So
that's it for today's video. What are your thoughts on this? How do you feel about the upcoming Canelo versus Crawford clash? We'd love to hear from you, so drop your opinions in the comments. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe if you enjoyed it. Also, check out our other videos on the screen right now.